Thursday, the 19th of Kythorn, in the year 1489, Dalla Reckoning. Dear Journal, the last recurring dream was one too many. Clearly fate was trying to tell me something. Again. The dream itself, it's hard to put into words the things I saw, but when I woke I scribbled this on a piece of parchment. In the waters above and the water below, 4 there were, and 4 they shall go. One small of stature with hairs red as flames, one of the faith, divine grace proclaims. One of water and war, who does not shy from pain. One calls lightning her friend and invokes the arcane. In Saltmarsh they meet, in Saltmarsh they bond, their journey begins to the depths and beyond. Just yesterday, OV and I were enjoying a cup or 3 at the Moonstone Mask in Neverwinter, after running some medicine and herbs for a nearby rural community. OV mentioned booking passage to Saltmarsh, the town I saw in my dreams, and I decided to share my dream with him. He gave me his usual perplexed face when I went on about my prophetic premonitions, but I knew I must accompany him there. We set out from Neverwinter Harbour in the Queen's Providence, a small cargo schooner headed directly to Saltmarsh. I quickly noticed we were not the only passengers on board, and the other 2 seemed like the ones I dreamed about. There was no doubt in my mind that once again, I'm tugging on the strands of time and fate, knowing fully there will be ramifications to that, even if I don't know what they are. The big brute from my dream was a half-orc warrior. His name was Guppy. After I introduced OV and me, I went on and shared I had a vision dream where we were all together. In the next room I saw the starry-skinned lady, also from my dream. Her name was Anathea. As usual with the tall races, they were a bit suspicious and not fully trusting, and I had to prove my powers to divert time and fate where real. I cajoled Guppy into making a nearly impossible target practice shot with his hand axe over my delicate face, and made sure it was a bullseye using my powers. The people were impressed, but not fully convinced. We explored the ship for a while, and around sundown we had dinner with the captain. We met an author called Gladwell Malcolm there, and he was listening with the rest as the captain went on and on about human politics in Keoland, loyalists and traditionalists, trade routes, the decaying prices of wares, etc. What the tall races deem newsworthy. Out of politeness, and so I would not fall asleep, I asked about the difference between privateering and piracy, and received an earful of political mumbo-jumbo. The conversation took an interesting turn when the captain revealed that the ship was carrying a magical artifact for the Keoland crown. Furthermore, he asked us to help guard the ship in case of mutiny. As it turned out, the ship is sailing with a mostly new crew, and the captain is a bit anxious about an attack on the ship assisted by mutineers. The name Bluebeard came up in that regard. Using my divination boon once more, I made sure the captain would let us inspect that so-called artifact. The actual guards over the storage room where it was held, a pair of human twins called Tom and Tom, proved to be prickly about letting us all in, and after some negotiation agreed to let Anathea herself. I sent Ziggy to accompany her so I could inspect the artifact through its eyes. Inside a crate lay a small metallic rod with a pressable button on one side. I recalled the item immediately, as my grandfather's library was equipped with all 11 volumes of Burglekutt's almanac of eerie and enigmatic goods. This item was listed there. It was an elven stick of staying, a peculiar device imbued with magic that would cause it to stay in place without moving nor falling, once it was triggered with the press of a button. Later, in our quarters, we discussed the potential dangers this stick imposes when being carried on a ship. For the time being, we have deduced it was not put there as a trap, the greatest of all cannonballs, as Guppy described it, but rather as an actual magical device to be sold to the dwarves as a catalyst to their mining endeavours. Regardless of the reason it was brought on board, the stick of staying poses a considerable danger in case the captain's fear of mutiny or a high seas attack are proven to be true. We decided to retire for the day and dedicate the morrow to trying to unroot any potential mutineers. After a seemingly uneventful night, the 4 of us split up, each of us using their own means to try and uncover any agent provocateurs on the ship. While there was no real success, we did learn of some sailors reporting loud noise from the bowels of the ship in the dead of night. and also a big crate of hemp ropes that was on deck went missing. We had little time to follow any of these leads as a "Sail ho!" yell from the crow's nest grabbed our attention. Looking east, we could see a blue sail ship making its way toward us. Captain Bluebeard? Pirates? I have to cease journaling as I'm afraid things may get hostile soon. I've spent but a day with these new companions foretold by my dreams, and already I am excited. I can already tell that Guppy is more than a brawny half-orc. And Anathea, she's not just a pretty, star-skinned lady. And Ovi, I've known for a while he's way more than the drunken, washed-out, sad human he sometimes seems to be. I'm glad to find myself among them. And what about me, dear journal? Am I too more than meets the eye? More than a failed halfling druid who poked her nose where it didn't belong? Am I too destined to great things? Oh, Ursula, you hush that daydreaming head of yours.